Very excited for UFC 268. We'll hang out for the next few hours, walk through the picks again, walk through some bets, answer some questions, all of the above. We're just here, honestly, to get excited for the fights and to prepare to make some money. Let's talk about the picks. Let's talk about all of it. First of all, it's nice to be back for one of these. So we've had a wild run of early fight night cards, even last week's early UFC 267. We have not had a normal, well-timed, meaningful UFC event in a very long time. So it is nice to hit this normal schedule. And I'm sure tonight, when it's late and I'm tired, I'll be regretting that. But for now, I'm excited for the card. What's up, Bearded? What's up, Chris? Chris, you took some hard stances this week, so you better hope Rose doesn't lose. Otherwise, you're back to the drawing board, my man. Very hard stances. Yeah, thanks, Jesse. Whatever I had going on, I was sick for like 1.5 days, and then my voice was just gone. My voice was absolutely gone. Didn't come back for a while, but I felt fine. What's up, Joey? And Jesse, back to the gang back together. Dan has no travel this week, so he should be here for the full card breakdown too. So we'll see. It was a wild run of me holding down the fort, and my wife was not happy about it. So it is nice to get some support. Otherwise, it's just 100% me all the time, which is rough. So I'm excited for this card. I'm assuming you guys are too. Chris, I will be very because of how hard you're backing Rose, I am finding myself rooting against Rose, like legit rooting against her, just to spite you. I don't know why. That's just who I am as a person. I'm a very spiteful person, so I'm rooting against you. Where are my glasses? Hey, listen, I'm sorry I wasn't born with perfect vision, guys. A lot about me is incredibly perfect, just not my vision. So wore my glasses this morning at 6 o'clock on the couch while I was messing around with a Fight Companion live stream layout. So that happened, but no glasses for this. Honestly, I should wear glasses for these because my eyes, I got like lights in front of me and stuff. My eyes dry out like freaking crazy. And I'd like to wear my glasses, but the light would reflect off. What's up, Josh? Welcome. Joey, I'm backing for Rose mainly because she's in my underdog parlay. Listen, Rose is very, very good. Very good. Rose can win. Rose has won this exact fight before. And she's a slight favorite. And now she's not. The line has moved. But she opened as a slight favorite, and that makes sense. So I think Rose is a good pick. Rose should be in people's DraftKings lineup too if you're on that side because she's so cheap. But I hate to say it because I know how talented she actually is. I just think she's so overrated. When did I say I was backing Rose hard? Do I need to go through the comment sections of all the videos of anybody who says Weili's going to win and you pouncing like a cat in the woods? When did I say? Are you kidding me? Yeah, Chris is short. Chris is fat. Chris doesn't have much reach. He is not a physically imposing man, but he's a talented guy with ridiculous athleticism. And who cares about size and height? Was John Vellante bigger than the last 27 people in a row who beat the crap out of him? So I think John Vellante is a little overrated. I don't think he's highly rated at all, but I think John Vellante sort of built his name off one or two tough fights and then being friends with Chris Weidman. And then just sort of showing up for a paycheck. He should not be at heavyweight. He's a middleweight. He should not be at heavyweight. Where Chris is very good, very talented. Chris doesn't look the part, but he is the part. I just hope he took this seriously. That's always been the problem with Chris is like, he's one of those guys where he's just so naturally gifted. I mean, he's like short and fat and does backflips standing, right? He's very athletic, very naturally gifted. I just hope. So his problem in the past has been, you know how it is, you've probably known these people where it comes easy to them. They don't put in the time. They don't put in the effort. They're just so used to being good at stuff. And that has been Chris in the past, where it just came easy to him, that he never really had to push or try hard or work hard. I'm hoping that corner has turned. I do think he can win this fight, even just off his athletic ability. But I'm hoping now that he's in the UFC, he's started to turn that corner. Vellante looked worse than Rampage when he fought Fedor. Yeah, he was a sloppy mess in that fight. Man, Rampage is one of my all-time favorites. I'm sure he's on most people's list of all-time favorites, but Rampage was one of my all-time favorites. So it's always sad watching these guys' careers just sort of fall off like that. Khabib did it right. He's still got good years left in him. He left a little too soon. Even DC did it right. Yeah, he retired off a loss, but okay, no big deal. Like, he was winning right before that. It's not like he had 3-4 years of bad losses fighting into his mid to late 40s. Josh Parlay, Usman, Rose, Chandler, Billy, Vera, Jacoby. Usman should win. Rose, honestly, that's a pick 'em. That's 50-50. That's why I picked Wei Lee, but you don't see that on here money line. Chandler, I like Chandler in this fight. His chin is the only thing that worries me, but Chandler, very live underdog. Billy Quarantillo can win. He's another live underdog. But Shane Burgos is tough. Vera, I don't see Cheeto Vera winning that fight at all. And then Jacoby absolutely should win. Those are solid payout for all fights that could hit. So good luck. Good luck. Chris, there's no way. All right, are you going to make me go through the comments? Didn't you argue with me? Am I confusing with somebody else? You even argued with me. Here we go. Talking about, okay, you're going to make me do this now. You're going to make me pull it up on my phone. Shit. So many freaking comments this week. Can I search? All right. Don't worry, we'll get there. Ian Gary by sub, plus 500. I don't chase those type prop bets because they're the probability is so low, which is why the odds are so good. I prefer smaller, payouts like that. But he does have a submission game. There is a submission game hidden behind his striking. I just don't know. He could get in trouble and go for a submission. I wouldn't bet that, but it is definitely more probable than some of the other crazy prop bets that are out there because he does have a submission game. What I'm doing on my other screen here is I'm looking up all of Chris V's comments because I am 1,000% sure that can I search comments? You're going to make this so difficult for me. But don't you worry. Remember when I mentioned I'm spiteful and petty? Well, you're witnessing that right now. Chris V. Oh, here we go. Nope, wrong Chris. I'll sit here in silence. Here we go. All right, that's an Imavov one. I'll let that one slide. Oh, my bad, Chris. Sean V. My bad. I apologize. Sean V is arguing with everybody. My bad. All right. We're back to normal. My bad, Chris V. Sean V. And if that's your brother, tell him he better hope. Let's go, Justin. So you're rooting for Gagey. How many of you, when I made my Michael Chandler pick, you guys trashed me. So I'm assuming most of you are anti, or at least you're on the Justin Gagey side. So let me talk about my bets real quick, what I got going on. I don't know who watched the video, who didn't watch the video. I've got DraftKings. I got Monkey Knife Fight. We're here for 2 hours. So I'll be here to talk about all that. Dan said he'll pop on at some point. Jacob, this is usually when Jacob goes to the gym and just starts joining the chat sideways for no reason. Joe's on Chandler too. Listen, I like Michael Chandler to win this fight. My only issue with Michael Chandler is his chin. That's the only thing that worries me here. But Justin Gagey is going to look old very soon. I don't know if it is this fight, though. But he has taken so much damage and has been in so many wars, and he relies on his chin so much that one day he's going to get put out, and then every fight after that, he's going to show his age. Holy crap, am I thirsty? Giovanni is on Gary Barnett, Hawes, and Pereira. I like that. Plus 385. Listen, 4-1. It basically takes 4 guys, makes them even money when you smash them together. I like that. That's a solid parlay. Ian Gary should win. UFC debut, you never know, but he should win. Barnett, I'm on him. Hopefully he wins. Hawes should win. Pereira should win. That's a solid parlay. My wife texted me, I think I'll make meatballs and sauce tomorrow with the girls. Or we can make lasagna. You tell me. Why do I give a shit? Come on, man. Anyway. Now, if it was my Italian mother saying, should I make meatballs and sauce, that's a whole different situation than my Southern Texas wife. Anyway, let me walk through my bets. Moneyline, I got Chris Barnett. We've talked about this a little bit. I'm on Chris Barnett here. I like Chris Barnett to win this fight. I know a lot of people are dragging him, and I get it. If you look at him, he's a slob. Short, fat, like a slob. But he's almost like a Roy Nelson, except 10 times more athletic, where Roy Nelson was fat. Roy Nelson did not look the part, but Roy Nelson never gassed. And no matter what shape he was in, that's just what he looked like. And Chris Barnett's similar, where you're basing, not you guys, but I've seen a bunch of other. I've told you what I do. I do my own research. I do my own picks. I film our show, and then I will go see what other people said and did, just out of curiosity. Part of me is curious if people are stealing picks and insight. But most of us post around the same time. We're probably later than most because we have to wait for DraftKings and Monkey Knife Fight. So we do Tuesdays instead of some people are doing Sundays or Mondays. Anyway, and after we filmed and after I did my picks, I saw a lot of other people were hating Chris Barnett, hating on him, which is very surprising to me. But I'm on Chris Barnett. I've got the money line, even money. I get it. I totally get the apprehension. He is not taking his career as seriously as he should in the past. He's been, a little sloppy, loosey-goosey with the training, but he should have turned a corner. He's in the UFC now. He's unbelievably talented. So we'll see what happens. So I've got him at plus 105. Prop bets. I like Usman Covington over 3.5. I see your comment here, Giovanni, that you think Usman can dominate and KO early. I don't necessarily disagree with you. I straight up do not disagree with you there. But I have to trust that this fight will be somewhat similar to the first. And yeah, we've seen Usman make incredible improvements, but Covington's made improvements too. He just hasn't had to fight the same level of competition. But let's also be real. Usman fought who the hell did he just fight? Jorge Masvidal. I love Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal is very good, very entertaining, but Jorge Masvidal is not upper echelon, right? Same with, I actually think, what's his name's overrated too, Gilbert Burns. And Gilbert Burns dropped Usman. So, I pick Usman to win. I think Usman's going to look really good. I think there is a possibility that he comes out there and steamrolls Kobe. But I said from the beginning, I thought those odds were wide. I do think this will be competitive. I think Kobe's going to wrestle a lot more in this fight, or at least try to. So I like the over 3.5. I hate paying minus 1.5 anything, but I grabbed that. And then I have this over round parlay. This one is my least confident bet on the night. Pereira Michailidis over 1.5. Listen, it's Pereira's UFC debut. Michailidis is going to try to make sure there's no striking whatsoever. So I think it will go a little bit. I understand why people are on the other side of this pick. People are on the under 1.5. But, if you watch it, Dan mentioned he was watching Pereira train. He spent some time with him. He wrestled him in the hot tub a couple months ago. Super strong, super athletic, working on his takedown defense. So Pereira's going to win. But I like the over 1.5. I think he'll take his time, settle in. He's not like a blitz guy. A lot of these kickboxers take their time, find a rhythm, and go from there. So over 1.5, I parlayed that with Gary Williams over 1.5. Ian Gary, that's another one that people think will be super early knockout. Ian Gary's like the next coming of Christ. He's going to come out here, beat the crap out of everybody, blah, blah, blah. He may, he could, he's that talented, but Jordan Williams is tough, and I'm taking Jordan Williams over to survive for a little bit over 1.5 rounds. And then Barnett Vellante over 1.5 rounds as well. That will definitely go over 1.5 rounds, and the odds reflect that. But I smashed them together. I almost 4-1 my money. And then I've got Usman Har's parlay. I used to do this quite a bit. I stopped doing it recently, but I'll take two people that I'm like positive are going to win, even if the odds are kind of bad. Smash them together, and you get more favorable odds. I got -140. I'm pretty confident those two will win. So those are my bets. We'll hop in the other guys in a second. Let's just check out the comment section here. Listen, man, we talked about that first fight, and that first fight wasn't that long ago. It's not like it's 5 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, and the judges had it straight up split. One judge had it Kobe, one judge had it Usman, and then a draw going into the 4th round, 2-2, or 5th round. Obviously, there was a stoppage, so it was a very clean-cut decision there, but I guess my point was it was a competitive fight going into that last round. Joe Chidoro, underdog parlay, Rose, Edgar, Quarantillo, Chandler, Shabazian, and Barnett. Rose definitely, 50-50. Edgar should win. Quarantillo's probably the biggest underdog here. Chandler, Ken, chin holds up, Will, Shabazian, I like him in this fight, and then Barnett I'm on. So that's a solid parlay. You know, anytime you smash together more than two fighters, the stars have to align. And JP, I agree with you. I'm very funny. Very funny. I'm spiteful. I'm funny, and I'm quick-witted. I am mean. Some people don't appreciate the mean, but I'm mean. That's who I am. My daughters are mean. I'm mean. My wife is mean. It is what it is. Jacob's nice. That's why when Jacob's here, he rounds it out. Joe, what are the odds on that parlay? Yeah, check the Whaley is 2 outclassed. There he is, Sean V. I am rooting against you so hard. So hard. You took such a hard line on Rose this week, and I'm a very spiteful person. I am legit rooting against you, buddy. Like hard. I'm hoping that straight up, like Rose, who I like and who is very talented, and I think that fight is a straight up pick 'em. I hope her head comes off her body so I could watch you apologize in the comments, as I did when you were hard on Aspen and Mackenzie Dern. Okay, just a reminder of your hard stance. I'm just giving you a hard time, but I am spiteful, and I hope you lose. And I'm catching up in order here, guys. Let's see. Wrestled him in a hot tub. He did. I don't know if we put out a lot of content every single week, but Dan talked about in the betting video, maybe the DraftKings video. So obviously Dan and Glover are like legit best friends in real life. I'm in the mix there. I'm friends with them in real life as well, obviously. So like Glover was in Dan's wedding. Like that's how close they are. So like 3 months ago, Glover went to Orlando to train with Lyoto Machida, and he took Alex Pereira with him. And then they went down to visit Dan and hang out with Dan, and they all got drunk in a hot tub and started wrestling each other. So Dan wrestled Alex Pereira in a hot tub, said he was really, really strong. No, I wouldn't listen. It's not crap. I'll tell you why. I completely disagree with him. He took a hard stance, and I completely disagree. But what I do like that Sean V does is he'll make his point, and he will back it up with facts. I think Rose will win, and here is why. What I hate are the people that come in here, and not what you're doing. Osir is a black god. Osiris. Spaces. I need spaces. Anyway, what I hate, my biggest pet peeve is when people show up on a Sunday who are not part of this channel. They're not subscribers. They don't contribute in any meaningful way whatsoever. And they show up on a Sunday with like laughing emojis under a pick. That drives me nuts. And that's why my response is always, hey, go ahead, list all 15 of your picks and let's compare at the end of the week. So listen, I'm rooting against Sean V big time hard, but I at least appreciate that he'll provide logic to his disagreements and not just, laughing emojis. You guys are idiots. Those people are the worst. I will argue with anybody. I appreciate other sides, more feedback. I love you guys coming in here, sharing your bets and sharing your picks. Sometimes I steal them, right? I'll see a good parlay and be like, well, that's solid. I should do that. But that's all contribution. You're all contributing in your way. Showing up, making shitty comments and leaving. That's the worst, especially the amount of time we put into this crap. Anyway, you do. $50 apology. Yeah, sorry, Chris. I'm not paying you, but sorry. Cosmic King. Usman, Pereira, Barnett. What do you think? Good bet. I do. I absolutely think that's a good bet. So Barnett's the shakiest one in that. I'm high on Barnett. I spent some time with him in real life. Couldn't be a nicer dude. Couldn't be more athletic. Like, it is stupid how athletic that guy is. And Cosmic King with the subscription. Thank you. While I have your comment pinned, how amazing is that? Anyway, I think Barnett's the weak link, but I'm on Barnett. You see, I have a money line bet on him, so I like that's a solid parlay. Pereira should win. Listen, there are questions about his takedown defense and ground game, but he should win, and we have some firsthand sort of observations as to his takedown defense and stuff. I already apologized to you, Chris. We're gonna have to move on here, buddy. Toughen up. Josh, betting on Edgar is like throwing money away. I disagree with that. I don't have a bet on Frankie Edgar, but I like Frankie Edgar in this fight. The only reason I don't have a bet on him is because I'm so conservative. And you know what's funny, guys? Obviously, if you've been watching for any meaningful amount of time, I have made money every single week for like 6+ months. I have not missed a bet in 6+ months. I've missed a few bets. I haven't been down units on the week. But now that streak is going so long, I feel like added pressure to keep that streak going. So I'm getting more and more conservative. I almost bet Frankie Edgar money line. I almost did it. And then I was like, I got to keep the streak alive and play it safe. So I didn't, but I do like Frankie Edgar in this fight. I think Chito Vera, listen, he's tough. He's got a solid, like, come forward Muay Thai style. But Chito Vera is like, he's living off that fight with Sean O'Malley. Like, Chito Vera's not good. He's not very good. He'll be out of the UFC in a year. That's honestly, I think Chito Vera is a ton of fun, comes forward, brings the fight. I root for him 99 out of 100 times when he fighting Frankie Edgar. I'm rooting against him, and I'm picking against him. I changed your mind on Aspen. That fight was horrible. It was horrible, but hey, I made my money. I guess, when did Woodley cry? What am I missing? Zach, do you think any fights tonight will end in a draw? If so, I would never, if I were you, do not bet on a fight to end in a draw. I think the most likely one that could potentially end in a draw, you got to go with, potentially the main event, or even potentially, because let's put it this way, the last fight could have ended in a draw in the main event. Their first fight. I would say potentially the main event, or potentially Gagey Chandler, because we could get a 10-8 round. So Chandler could win the first round and the second round with wrestling, and then the last round could be a 10-8, right? He could be on ice skates, almost dying, almost getting his head taken off, and that could be a draw. I would never bet a draw. I don't care what the odds are, but just answering your question for you. Good luck. When did that happen? I got my list of picks if you has yours, Angelo. Yeah, what are you talking about? The channel is my list of picks. 15 videos a week is my list of picks, bud. Yeah, it's the worst. Don't show up the day after unless you, like Sean V can show up tomorrow and tell me I'm a moron because him and I argued. So great. You can't not contribute, not give your pick, and then show up after the like, oh, look at me, I'm a genius. No, you're not. Like, someone just did that. Uros Medic. Somebody yesterday, last night, I'm sitting on the couch drinking whiskey, watching, what the hell are we watching? American Rust. Good show. And I'm getting alerts on my phone for every comment that comes through, and there's a ton. And then one was, I forget what it said, but it was clearly making fun of the result. And I'm like, none of the fights happen. What is this? Somebody found an Uros Medic fight that he just lost, that we picked him to win, and commented on like 5 different videos with Eros Medic in it. It's like, what are you doing? That's how you spent your Friday night? Shaloosh. No pressure, Angelo, but your money line bet hits 9 out of 10. So here's the thing. I had another. So I did not notice that my money line bets were like so good until people started commenting that, like, oh, your money line bets are on point. And then it's like, oh God. And then it got in my head and I'm like, I have to be careful with my money line bets. Like now I'm only going to bet minus 700 favorites. Then Chris Riley texted me the other day, the Monkey Knife Fight guy, and he said, I don't know if I should tell you this, but you have not picked a girl fight wrong ever. And I was like, no. And then he like listed them. He's like, you have not gotten a girl fight wrong at all. Every one of your picks on the women's fights are correct. And he said that after I made the Wei Li pick, and I was like, I wish you didn't tell me that. I'm like, now I feel pressure to keep that weird streak going, and I don't trust Wei Li. I picked her. I didn't bet on her. I picked her, and now I don't trust her. She's going to break that streak that I didn't even know I had. So there is pressure when you guys tell me, when you guys point out what I'm doing right, there is pressure. It's all right. Listen, I'm from Connecticut. My family, they're all immigrants. I'm first generation. I spent the first half of my life in New York, second half of life in Connecticut. Now I live in Texas. I come from, we all yell, we scream, we're loud, we argue. My friends, me and my friends are like the biggest assholes in the world. Like we're just so mean to each other. That's just who we are. So I am thicker skinned than probably 99% of the world. And now that I live in Texas and I'm meeting people in Texas, I'm realizing how aggressive I am, how thick-skinned I am. I'm realizing like, oh, it's just me and my friends that are this mean. It's not everybody. So it's okay to be soft. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have recognized that, but it's okay to be soft. And Jacob is softer than anybody on this channel. I promise you that. If Frankie's chin holds up, he can get it. He wants that MSG win. Him, and honestly, the MSG thing worries me a little bit about, because I'm on Bobby Green. That does worry me a little bit about, Jesus Christ, what the hell is this stupid ass name? Come on. I got Al Iaquinta. The MSG thing, that's a real thing, fighting in your hometown, except when Derek Lewis got smoked in Houston and quit on himself. Other than that, hometown is a real thing. Josh Locks, the fighters I want to win: Vergara, Melsick, Jacoby, Barnett, Gary, Imamov, Hawes, Green, Pajeda, Chandler, Billy, Vera, Rose, Usman. Compare on Monday. All right. I don't have my pick. Well, I do have my picks on the list, actually, so I will. The parlay is not being conservative. You're 100% correct. That's why I said it's only half a unit. And that is why I said that's my least confident. I did that the other day. As soon as the 1.5 round lines drop, I like to hit them quick because those move fast. And I like the overs on 1.5s. But you're right. That is not very conservative. No, that won't be a draw. I don't see that being a draw. I have a feeling we are very similar on our straight up picks wise. Probably. What's up, Alexandre? Welcome. Listen, guys, I've got Monkey Knife Fight, DraftKings, all that. So tell me what you want to talk about. We'll talk about it. I'll move to Dan's bets on the screen while I catch up on chat. You guys are awesome in the chat today. If you're watching this, like the stream. If you're watching and you don't subscribe, please subscribe. If on Tuesday I made it so only subscribers could join the live chat, I didn't do that for right now because I feel like the pre-fight stuff, this is where we bring in some new people, so I'm not going to do it. But soon we are going to move to a only subscribers can comment model because I just don't, frankly, we put in so much time and effort, the least anybody could do is subscribe. Let's see. Mr. Savage level, Usman, Edgar, Burgos, Wei Li, Imavov, Hawes, and DK Capitan. So Hawes is your captain. He's so expensive, though. He's so expensive. Like, how could you even afford? All right, Edgar was cheap. Burgos was not. Wei Li was normal money. Imamov was not cheap. How could you afford this lineup with Hawes in captain mode? That's surprising. Thanks, Josh. I honestly didn't even realize. I knew I was up money every week, but I didn't break it down enough to dig in to realize that the money line were what was carrying a lot. Perry, are you going live tonight? I might. That's why I haven't advertised it yet. If I go live, you'll just see it pop up. I'm not going to advertise it because here's the problem with the pay-per-views and going live. I have people that come over. So it's easy for a fight night because it's just Jacob and it's no big deal. But like I got my neighbor coming over, my wife's cousin, who's my good friend, he's coming over. So then it's like hard to like, we got to watch it on mute when we live stream. So I don't know. We'll see. I may go live just to test the new layout. Guys, check out the new layout that I shared on Twitter and in the on the community page. We're trying to make those live streams as useful as possible for you guys. So check that out. And now I went out and I spent a ton of money on a brand new computer. So now it's powerful enough to do whatever the hell I need it to do. I am due for an L. 100% I'm due for an L. Nobody wins as long as I've been winning. Nobody. And my streak's ridiculous and it will end eventually, which is why I'm now telling people like, and here's the problem, right? Now that I'm streaking, more and more people are paying attention and more people are grabbing the picks or grabbing the bets, which is great. And it's huge for the channel, but I can't streak like this forever. I'm going to lose somehow. So we'll see. There's at some point. Chris V, I'm from New York too, grew up in Long Island, then moved to Virginia when I was 11. Yeah, my family's from Bethpage, Long Island. So spent a good amount of time on Strong Island. Bearded Ninja, it's just you living in Frisco, Plano area. That's why you see so much stuff people go to Oak Cliff. Are you in Texas? Have we had this conversation before? Yeah, I'm a little north of Frisco. I'm in Prosper. Yeah, it's just fun. And like, I wouldn't say people here are soft. They're just normal. And I'm like, I'm like really mean. Like my wife will look at me like, why did you just say that? Joey T became a member. Welcome, Joey Todoro. Welcome. And if you want to hop on a little bit, Joe, and do the DraftKings ownership, you're welcome to. Edgar's your captain. That makes sense because I was like, there's no way you could afford your captain to be Phil Hawes at that price. No way. Dan's parlay is close to my parlay, except I don't have Green and Vergara. Osborne. Let's see. Yeah, Bobby Green should win. And then Osborne Vergara under 2.5 rounds. So he's rooting for an O'Day knockout there, which could happen. I like that under 2.5 round there, Osborne Vergara. I might do that. I might do that bet when we're done here. Joe Todoro celebrates 7 months of membership. Plenty more months, years to come if you haven't yet joined the family. I agree, Joe. If you guys don't know, membership, there's a join button under this video. It's just a quick, easy, cheap way to support us, help the channel. Every nickel that comes into this channel goes right back into the channel. First of all the money we're giving away. We give away money to the DraftKings winner. I'm giving money away to anybody who signs up for the betting. I plug it all week, and I know you guys probably get annoyed with it, but that's literally what keeps the lights on here. This channel costs us a lot of money. The software we use, that's $50 a month. The website is many, many thousands of dollars. Like every nickel that comes in stays in. So we appreciate it. Thanks for the membership, Joey. And anybody who wants to join, click the join button below. I would put somebody in captain that has a higher chance to get a finish. Yeah, it's an interesting card though, because the prices are pretty wild. Everybody's live, but I don't think this is a big finish card. I think everybody's live for a finish, but even when I was doing Knockout Kings, it wasn't there wasn't an obvious pick in Knockout Kings. Let's see. I hit every other Saturday or I streak for a few weeks. Yeah, I'm streaking now, so I just hopefully I don't ruin it. And you agree with Josh on that. So let's talk about Dan's bets real quick. We could hit up DraftKings as well. After we do Dan's, we'll do DraftKings. I'm not doing Jacob's bets. Jacob, and every bet, if you're new here, every bet that you see that we talk about is 100% our bet. These are Dan's. He's spent his money. I'm not going to tell you what a unit is for him. Mine are mine. I'm not going to tell you what a unit is for me, but that's our money that we spent. These are real bets. I've seen other betting breakdowns, and they're just like, well, this could be a good bet. You could do this. I might do that. These are our actual bets where our money actually went. So it's not, these aren't suggestions. This is just telling you what we did. So Dan followed me on the Chris Barnett money line. He's on Billy Quarantillo. His logic was, listen, he's like, I get why Shane Burgos is the favorite. Honestly, Shane Burgos probably should win. He's like, but anytime you can get Billy Quarantillo at that kind of plus money with his pace, his volume, his relentlessness, you got to take it. And that's why he went with Billy Quarantillo there. Osborne Vergara under 2.5 rounds, minus 140. Not great odds, but that's a pretty likely outcome. He threw 2 units at that. Billy Quarantillo wins in round 3. He put a quarter of a unit. I don't know why he went that specific, but I think he just thinks he'll wear out Shane Burgos, hit a rhythm, and he feels that Shane starts to fade and Billy does not. I just covered my child support payments for months, baby. Let's go. All right, good luck. Rooting for you. There we go. Already hit that. And then he's got this one. This is one parlay. Edmund Shabazian money line. I love Shabazian in this fight. People are hating on him and his takedown defense. And, I like Shabazian in this fight. I think he'll get it done. Billy Quarantillo, he explained that this parlay is a long shot. But he's got Billy Quarantillo. He's got Bobby Green in that, who I think should win. Michael Chandler. Listen, if Michael Chandler's chin holds up, he wins. And then Frankie Eder, and then the Osborne Vergara under. So what do lineups mean? So if you look at some of our other graphics, we do DraftKings. DraftKings is fantasy. So I don't know if you know fantasy football. It's the same thing, but for fights, you get $50,000 of fake money. You have to pick 6 fighters, and each fighter is valued at a different price. And you build a lineup of 6 fighters. Then that lineup competes against other people's, and are your 6 better than their 6? And if you win, you can win some real life money. So that's what it is. It's free. So sign up. You have many hours. Go to wewantpicks.com/DraftKings. Jump in, make an account, build a lineup, enter our free league. And if you win, we'll give you money just for participating. So it's free. Give it a try. It's a ton of fun. I'm telling you guys right now, you're fight fans. A lot of you're watching fights no matter what. But watching fights when you're doing DraftKings, when you have Monkey Knife Fight going, watching fights when you have that stuff going is so much better. It's just, now you're rooting for something specific. You care about, all of a sudden, these shitty undercard fights you didn't care about, all of a sudden you care about. So I recommend, if you don't feel comfortable betting, do the fantasy. Okay. John Allen, Jordan Williams, Michaelitis, Souza, and Curtis, depending on the size of the contest, should be below 10%. It's funny, Dan called me before asking who I think would be low owned but could get a knockout. Let's see. Angelo, do you think Chandler has the wrestling to put KG down and then submit him? I do. Chandler's a very, very good wrestler. His hands are so heavy, though, that he doesn't always use his wrestling. But when he uses it, it's there and it's effective. Go watch Michael Chandler versus Eddie Alvarez 1, 2, or 3. His wrestling is good. Michael Chandler's the real deal. The only issue is his chin. He's older. He's starting to show his damage and wear his damage on his chin. But Michael Chandler is the real deal. I imagine he is aware enough of his age and what he's been through, and he's going to wrestle. He didn't wrestle with Alex Oliveira because he won that first round. He had a ton of success, and he almost put Oliveira out with his own hands. And then, then he got caught. And that might have been a great wake-up call coming into this KG fight. Surprise. Why are you surprised Curtis is low ownership? Just curious. Unpopular opinion. That is an unpopular opinion. I think Edmund Shabazian's the much better striker. Let's see. Curtis is a long shot. He's a natural 170, which is true. He does have a puncher's chance and no problem. Yeah, I mean, Phil Hawes has more power in his hands, has light years better wrestling and grappling, and he fixed his cardio issue, so he'll probably have better cardio. And you know, Chris Curtis will definitely be smaller, and he has volume boxing and a solid left hook, where Phil Hawes has power everywhere. So Phil should win that. And those are my thoughts on Chris Curtis. So Chris Curtis took this fight short notice like a month ago. And then Phil Hawes declined it, turned it down, said, I need more time to prepare. I'm not going to take any short notice replacement. Fine. I don't know why they did this matchup again, considering how much smaller Chris Curtis is. He's a 170, and Phil Hawes is a massive 185. To top it off, Phil Hawes has ridiculous wrestling and ridiculous power in his hands, and now very good cardio. So I like Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis deserves to be in the UFC, but it should be at 170. And he's a boxer with, like, you know, his ground game is not very good, and we've seen him lose fights because of that ground game. What's up, Plague? Oh my God. Thank you so much for explaining. No problem. You're on the Billy Quarantillo side as well. You and Danny Boy. My only, like, literally the reason when I broke down Billy Quarantillo versus Shane Burgos, they both come forward nonstop. Shane's got phenomenal striking. He'll work the body. He'll go to the head. Billy has pretty good striking, but very good grappling. But if you look at Shane Burgos and when he's fought grapplers, he had no problem. No problem. Right? He, I forgot the freaking name. Let me pull it up my notes. I did this exact same thing in the DraftKings breakdown. Why do I keep forgetting his name? Left American top team, slick little grappler. Come on. Charles Rosa. Charles Rosa had a similar game plan. Billy Quarantillo smoked him, knocked him out. Amir Khani, similar game plan. And Shane Burgos smoked him, knocked him out. So Billy Quarantillo is live. Very good grappling, very, very good hands. But I think Shane's just a little bit too good and has an answer for the grappling. Serious question. If you pick a fighter to win and get the method of victory wrong, do you still get paid? Yep. That's what a money line bet is. So if you have a money, I picked Chris Barnett to win. It doesn't matter how he wins. If Chris Barnett wins his fight, I get paid. Now, if you bet, and I don't know if you're talking about bets. If you bet specifically a prop bet, like this one here, let's go to Jacob, which I said I didn't want to do Jacob's bets, but okay. If you look, Jacob has Rose Namajunas wins by submission. If Rose wins the fight by knockout, Jacob will not get paid on that bet. If she wins by submission, he will get paid, and he'll get paid a lot of money. That's why the odds change. So it depends what kind of bet you make. Money line is just that fighter straight up. I don't care how they win. I'll get paid. Prop bets are when you start picking specific outcomes, and you need those specific outcomes. I'm stuck on FanDuel, fortunately. DraftKings won't be returning to my state until football season. That's weird. So your state allows FanDuel, not DraftKings. It's very strange. Listen, everything we talk about, same exact logic in FanDuel. The only difference is FanDuel scores takedowns defended. So I like FanDuel for, you know where FanDuel is probably amazing? Who did I keep ranting and raving? The Edmund Shabazian fight. If you're on the other side of that, if you like Shabazian, he will end up defending a bunch of takedowns. So he is probably a good pick for a FanDuel lineup because FanDuel scores takedowns defended. I can't sit through the whole card because I got 29 lineups. My adrenaline is wild. Yeah, I mean, if you've got that many lineups, then you're just rooting for anything, right? I think Justin's anticipating a takedown. I see a knee or uppercut early. Also, Shane Burgos walks around 185. He's too big for 145 and way bigger than Billy. Yeah, he keeps making the weight, though. That's also why he gasses every now and then, but he does keep making the weight. He is massive for that weight class. Listen, I picked Michael Chandler, but there's a very big difference between me picking somebody to win based off of logic and reasoning and insight, and then me taking money out of my wallet and betting on that fighter. I did not bet on Michael Chandler. I did pick him. He is in my DraftKings lineup, but I didn't bet him. So I'm not that confident. Melsick by KO. Anything's possible. I think, he definitely has the power. He definitely can do that. He should do that. He's supposed to get the knockout win, but Bruno Souza, with his sort of counter striking and karate-esque movement, could surprise Melsick, faint out of the way and then come back in with a big power shot. Same Lyoto Machida style stuff. It depends on your time zone. The main card starts at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Just go 3 hours back from there. So 7 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock Eastern is when the undercard should start. Phil Hawes has the blonde hair. Yep. Why did somebody say who's Phil Hawes? Let's see. Do you know that Chris Curtis lost his last 2 fights in the same day? Sure. Imavov is the better grappler and has 10 times better head movement. I think he gets it done with ease. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the other side. I like Shabazian here. It's a super, super close fight. The odds reflect that. Edmund is absolutely, in my opinion, the better striker. Nasruddin's the better grappler. But again, if you look at the stats, Nasruddin Imavov only has a 22% takedown accuracy. 22%, which means 78% of the time he is not getting the takedowns he's trying. That's bad. Also, he's been training with Ciro Gane, and their striking is very similar. Tony Moreno, you guys think Kobe can pull it off? I personally have Usman winning, but do I think Kobe can pull it off? Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at the last fight. Going into the 5th round, and I get it, he was stopped, but going into the 5th round, one judge had it 3-1 for Kobe. One judge had it 3-1 for Usman, and another judge had it 2-2. So it was a very close fight last time. And if Kobe, and the word is he's going to come in with a wrestle heavy game plan. If he comes in with a wrestle heavy game plan, then he absolutely could, throw Usman off. We haven't seen anybody try to wrestle Usman. And maybe that's Kobe, and maybe he throws it off. So we'll see. Can he win? Yes. Do I think he will? No. Edmund definitely isn't taking down Imavov. I agree with that statement. Do you think Chris Curtis lost? Did you? Oh, I already pinned that. John looked like he's there for a paycheck. He's been showing up for, it's been a paycheck for the last couple of years. He hasn't had a win in 3 years. He said he's already retiring. That's why I am shocked Chris Barnett is still plus money. I'm shocked. But people look at him, he's short and fat, and nobody looks past that, and that's their miss, because I'm on it. I'm on it, baby. Edmund Shabazian's coach, who was Ronda's coach, is a dirtbag. Doesn't know anything. Ronda's mom hates him too. Yeah. What was his name? He is terrible. What the hell's his name? I forget. He's a miserable coach. Is it also Edmund? It is Edmund. It's also Edmund. Edmund Tarvarian? Edmund Tarvarian. That was his name. Terrible, terrible coach. DraftKings isn't the worst chicken on my state scoreboards. Gotcha. Yeah, don't jinx me. I saw that Dan called me today saying that he lives near he doesn't live near it, but he's like half hour from the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. And he said they're doing a sports book there. So we're going to reach out. We're going to talk to them, and we're going to see what we can do. Kobe Covington and Usman in the same. That could work. I didn't double it up, but you could absolutely double that up. If you look at the last fight, and I didn't double it up because I looked at Kobe Covington's score, and Kobe Covington scored 57 in that last fight. So 57 is not terrible for a loss, but I don't see 100 out of each of them. I do think it'll be a little different. He lost Magomed and Ray Cooper, both PFL champions. Nobody's saying he sucks. I'm not saying Chris Curtis sucks. I just think Phil Hawes is a big undertaking with his wrestling, with his power, and with his size. And Magomed's a nasty wrestler. Phil Hawes is a nasty wrestler. So Phil Hawes has a backup plan if he needs it. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, I didn't know they stopped scoring that. Yeah, that sucks because that was an advantage for them, in my opinion. I think Kobe is his toughest test, but Kobe has already lost, in my opinion, with all the excuses he makes. Reminds me of Deontay Wilder leading up to the third fight. Why? What excuses has Kobe been making already? It's dumb, FanDuel. They don't put much time in the UFC lineups. Yeah. Usman, 100% takedown defense. Yeah, but who has tried to take him down, though? You know what I mean? Like, who did he fight that was actively, that was their game plan before they got hit? It's hard to say wrestle heavy game plan when Usman is ever, yeah, same comment though. But who else, listen, Kobe is the best wrestler that Usman has ever faced. Period. End of story. So if he wants to implement wrestling, we'll see what happens. I think I'm going with Barnett with all you at this plus money. I just hope, here's my caveat with going on Barnett, and I'm going to start sharing DraftKings. Here's my caveat with the Barnett thing. He didn't take his career seriously for a very long time. And now he is, but he didn't for a very long time. So that's the only thing that worries me. And yeah, listen, okay, Damian Maia, the non-wrestler Damian Maia, dove at some legs and had some pathetic attempts of a takedown and then retired. I got you, but I don't agree. What? Tyron got Kobe down, but only controlled in 14 seconds. Usman hasn't let that happen. Yeah, listen, I'm picking Usman. Usman's my pick to win this fight. I'm just saying word is that Kobe is going to come out with a wrestle-heavy game plan, and if he does, that'll be interesting because we haven't seen anybody come out with a wrestle-heavy game plan. So we'll talk about some DraftKings very quickly, and then we can do Monkey Knife Fight if you want as well. Joe, if you want to hop on with the ownership, we can do that. Do you think John Allen will win because just Dustin Kobe came at short notice? I do not think so. I do not think so at all. I think Dustin Jacoby is going to win. Let's assume he's in shape. You kind of have to do that, right? But Dustin Jacoby is the far superior striker, literally a professional kickboxer that had success, did well. Whereas John Allen is a very tough guy, but John Allen's not a professional kickboxer level striker. He's a good striker. He's got a good jab. He likes to fight in the pocket. And he can mix up wrestling, but he really is going to need to mix up wrestling because I think Dustin Jacoby is just that much better in the striking department. Bearded, yes, Monkey Knife Fight Fantasy does score. IQ Logic, thank you for subscribing. Monkey Knife Fight use the FanDuel scoring for their fantasy lines. So that's why they do the score the takedowns defended. Thoughts on Thug Rose? Here's my thoughts. That fight is a pick'em. That is a 50-50 fight. I think Rose Namajunas is a little bit overrated going into this fight. I think she's getting way too much credit for that knockout. Obviously, it was a real knockout. She earned it. She got it. But there's people breaking down the tape talking about this was set up perfectly and she did this and she set it up. I think she saw an opportunity for a head kick, threw the head kick, and got it. I do not think she is like this next level, 5 steps ahead, one of the greatest strikers of all time. I don't think that's who she is. I think if you go through her record and you look at some of her losses, they were, what's up? Follow on the Facebook channel, Sulaiman Shish Mohammadi. Appreciate it. So Rose is very talented. Rose can grapple. Rose has very good striking. We've seen that she has power, and we've seen that she's durable. I think Wei Li is just better, and I understand it's a rematch, and she got knocked out the first time, and I understand in most rematches the person who won the first one will win the second one. But I think Wei Li just has to make a few small adjustments. Right? I think all Wei Li. Joe, I'll bring you on to do ownership, and whenever you're ready, I'll send you a link right now. Just hop on. I think Wei Li, the only adjustments Wei Li has to make is crowd, off the distance crowd, and you won't be on the end of those kicks. And if we look at the fact that she brought in the little Henry Cejudo, or she went to him for the wrestling, I think that tells you she plans on crowding, she plans on getting rid of the distance, and she plans on, keeping that fight there and making sure she's not on the wrong side of the range again. Josh Locks with the donation. Thank you very much for the super chat. It is very, very appreciated. Thank you. I've said this many times. Every nickel that comes in stays in and goes right back into this channel, so that's appreciated. So hopefully that helps with Rose. There are people high on Rose. Sean V, very high on Rose. I totally get why they are. I think the fight is a pick'em, and I absolutely think Rose can win. And if she does win, I will not be shocked. But I'm picking Weili, and Weili is in my lineup. Joe, I sent you the link to hop on for the ownership so we can do the ownership. Who said what fight are you talking about for the ref stopping it too early? Oh, for Kobe? Yeah, he did. It was it's tricky. It was a tough knockout, but he did pop up like nothing happened. My favorite prop is Kobe to have a plus 120 significant strikes, 3+ takedowns, and to win the fight at plus 2,500. That is crazy. Usman talked about how jacked up his body is and has had 5 knee surgeries. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you very much, Josh. Again, $5. Peer character doing a classic mic drop. Or pair character. What does that mean? Explain that to me. She definitely wanted Zhang to pick up on a leg kick. And last second, Rose brought it up high. Trevor or someone had to have seen Zhang do that move defending kicks. SM, thanks for the subscription. I mean, first of all, that's the original, that throw low, throw low, throw low, throw high. That's the George St. Pierre. That's how he knocked out Matt Hughes. Bunch of lows, went to the head. George St. Pierre, Matt Hughes. Go watch it. Early prediction for Jose versus Rob Font. Man, I would have said Rob Font 9 out of 10 times until Jose Aldo's last fight, where he looked 10 years younger than he has looked in all his last recent fights. So, man, I can't give a pick yet. I might be leaning Aldo as well, but I'm a Northeast guy. Rob Font's a Northeast guy, banging around the same circles for a while there. So, I probably can't pick against Font, can I? Who's a good underdog for 50-50s on DraftKings? Well. Let's take a look. Sort the price. Danny Boy said he's going to join. Okay, Daniel. I'll join sooner rather than later. I'm on now. Come whenever. You absolute cheese pocket dick whistle. That's how we talk to each other. Underdogs. Oops. I sorted the wrong way. Okay. Jordan Williams over Gary? Possible. Ian Gary, UFC debut? Who knows? Lots of question marks with the UFC debut. He's not in my lineup. Chris Curtis, somebody in this comment section was live on him before. I don't see Chris Curtis getting it done. Kobe Covington, that's a solid underdog pick for sure. $6,900. Definitely a good underdog pick. I like Bruno Souza. Nobody else agrees with me. He's got that stay out of the way, karate style, hop in fast out of nowhere, big heavy shot. So I think I like Bruno Souza, but literally nobody agreed with me. So who knows? Michailidis over Pereira. Michailidis is not very good, but anything is possible. You're missing Jacob. All right, here, let me read. Sorry, Perry. Let me read. Can I share this text? Let me see if I can share it. Okay. Let me share. You guys want to see what this is like behind the scenes? Here's the text. Dan, I'm coming, dork. So this started with Jacob trolling Dan to say, great work on the live stream, Dan. I especially liked when you said blank and blank about blank. Good stuff. Just trolling Dan for not hopping on this live stream. Then Dan, I'm coming, dork. It's 2 hours. I spoke to Angelo. I'm doing research right now. I'll join sooner rather than later. I said I'm on now. Come whatever. You absolutely cheese pocket dick whistle. Then Jacob, I can join in 15 or so. Is it okay if I'm shirtless and glistening after the gym? And then Dan said, you're spotted, impossible to glisten. I'll see if Mandy can join. I don't know what that is. And then Dan said, covered in freckles. And then Jacob said they aren't everywhere. Wink emoji. This is the crap we deal with. So let me get rid of this now. Here you go, Joey. Welcome. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. We'll see if Dan hops on. But that was just an insight behind the scenes of all the crap that we deal with. Let me just catch up on live chat. And then are you ready to go to do the ownership?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. Whenever you're ready.
All right, let me just catch up on some live chat. Dave said it scares me that Gary is everybody's lock. Listen, he's a UFC debut. I'm not laying out money on a UFC debut. I don't care how high the hype is. Dude only has 7 fights. He's 23 years old. There's a lot of risk there. He's very good, but there is a lot of risk, and he's expensive as hell. Giovanni, I think this card will be more like last week. Favorites will dominate. That is possible. I think these are a different kind of favorites. Last week, they were all Dagestani, Russians, nasty wrestlers. So it was all very straightforward how they were going to win. This, I do, I think there's some live underdogs, but you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if all the favorites took off. Another Melsick by KO. Getting spicy there at the end. Should I have said prove it? Let's prove it and see what he says. Prove it. All right. Joey. Yes. And Bone Kwikwi, last week was the easiest week to make picks in the world. But a hard DraftKings week because you got which Russian that cost $9,500 will score you points. Okay. Joey, let's do DraftKings ownership. You want to start at high or low?
We can go
or you
high.
Just want to go up the card?
We can go off card, high, low. It don't matter. I got everything in front of me. Whatever is easier for you on the screen.
You pick.
We can go off DraftKings price. We can go off DraftKings.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so at 9,600 Dustin Jacoby, short notice. I'm not paying that. I guess if you want to try to be safe in a cash game or double up, if you think he's going to beat John Allen, I think he can, but if John Allen gets the cage control, gets the body lock, maybe gets a takedown, he could be 1-1 going into round 3. But I think Jacoby should win, but I don't see him paying off that 9.6. And especially at the ownership at 25.8. It's not as high as all the rest of the card, but on a short notice, 9,600, I'm not paying that.
Yep, that makes sense. I'm not spending $9,600 on Dustin Jacoby. No. Like Dan said yesterday, that is for Amanda Nunes. That's what that price is.
Oh, yeah.
So real quick, catch up on the chat that I shared with everybody. Dan said, you're covered with freckles. Jacob said, they're not everywhere, winking emoji. I said, prove it. And Jacob said, once the scabs clear. So those are the type of classy text messages we have with each other. So what do you got on Ian Gary at 9,500 smackaroos?
Ian Gary, I know he's the UFC debuter. He has probably one of the easier matchups on the card, but I'm on you where it says I have a hard time paying for a guy with a debut at a 9,500 price tag. Jordan Williams is tough, but he is definitely a guy that can get finished. I think Jordan Williams might try to move and stick around because he has decent footwork in round 1 until he gets clipped, and then all that goes out of the water. But I think of Madison Square Garden. Yes, old school, out of the water.
That's what people say, that goes out the water?
Hey, I heard it in New Jersey. Must be a Jersey thing.
I'm pretty sure it's out the window.
Oh, there you go. That's my new thing then. But, yeah, look, I think the UFC jitters could get to him. It's Madison Square Garden. It's in New York. It's a big stage. How you said, he's getting compared to the McGregor stage, I guess. I haven't watched much tape on him. I know of him a little bit, but I'm not paying $9,500 on a guy making his debut. Especially, who knows, he might have some jitters in round 1, maybe hit and move, and then maybe get into his groove round 2. Yep. I think the cash game, he's a lock. If you want to get to him at 9,500 and a double up, I think is a nice lock. Because I think Jordan Williams is pretty much out the water. I think he's
out the water. Apparently, that's the thing. Phil Hawes, what's his ownership projection?
All right, Phil Hawes, he's at 30.7. He's more of one of the confident picks. Some people are getting to him. I'm not getting to him in my lineup. I'm trying to go for potential early finishes. But I think Phil Hawes is probably a good lock in some cash games and some GPPs. I think he has another easier opponent as long as his cardio doesn't go. And Curtis, I don't see him finishing Curtis. I think he goes to a 3-round decision. Even in a 3-round decision, I think he can have some takedowns, control, decent strikes. Just hope Phil Hall's cardio ain't gone round 3, and hope he doesn't get clipped.
Look, I mean, he scores a ton of points even in decisions. 95, 96. He gets takedowns at 5 point each, control time, significant strikes. So, Phil Hawes is $9,400 is a lot of money to me, but that is borderline. You're saying 30% ownership on him.
Yeah, I think Phil Hawes is safe.
Kamaru.
Kamaru, the Nigerian nightmare. I do not go against.
What's his
problems? I think he's a lock. And whoever side you're on, I don't care if you're on Usman, Covington. I'm not going to tell you to get off him. The first fight was so damn close, as you broke down in the breakdown and said it on the stream today. I'm not going to tell you which side to pick. If I'm going Usman because I've always been an Usman fan, even through his tough days. But he's currently the highest owned at 46.
46%.
He's the highest
in my lineup, so
he's in mine.
That makes sense. What do we got for Bogdasarian at $9,200? What's his ownership?
I know he has the more recent opponent coming in. He's a short notice guy. He missed weight. He had to actually cut his hair, from what I heard. They even attempt to get down to 146. But I think he's live for a potential round 1. But the only thing that scares me is since he is an aggressive striker that comes forward with good pace, and Sosa is a so-called Lyoto Machida-esque type karate striker. He probably cut off angles, maybe get some light kicks, 1-2s, and then until Baghdadi maybe round 2 can catch him slipping with his hands down. I think he's safe for a win, but like I said, I've seen in some other fights his cardio tends to go after round 1 a little bit, but I think he's a safe play at 9,200.
What's his ownership percentage?
Oh, his ownership's at 29.6.
Wow, a lot of these 9,000 guys are expensive.
The expensive guys are highly owned. A good portion of the 9K range and up. I think a lot of people think for the slate it's gonna be like almost like a Stars and Scrub.
What about our buddy Alex Pajeda?
I know me and you had to talk about him earlier this week, and I didn't know much about him. I know you broke down, said he's this dangerous striker. And at first, I didn't even know who the hell he was until you said about the whole Adesanya.
That's like the one thing everybody's latching on to is that he knocked out Israel, which is now it's an important thing. Nobody else did it, and he did it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Dan had some firsthand accounts of how hard Alex Pajeda hits, how strong he is everywhere, watching him train takedowns with Glover and takedown defense. So all of that should check out. How is that translating to DraftKings ownership?
He's currently at 26.9 for DraftKings ownership. I think, like I said, I don't know much about him until I watched a few of his fights. I think he has a death punch.
He 100% does, and I don't think he's not in my lineup, but maybe I will put him because
I have him in my lineup.
TKO.
Just because I think I'm not trying to say he's Francis Ngannou at middleweight, but like I said, he has that one little. He's like Thanos in the Marvel movies. Quick little snap, you're done. Type of power, and it's scary.
Yeah, he does have insane power. What about busy boy Shane Burgos? This is a guy that we said is probably not worth the money, but what's his ownership percentage?
His ownership is currently actually below Billy Q, and we'll get down to that when they're more going towards the underdog in that fight. But Burgos is at 28.8.
Billy Q is in the 30s. Wow.
Yeah, and that's besides Usman Covington, Burgos and Quarantino is probably the next fight I'm more excited for besides Chandler and Gaethje.
Yeah, it should be.
That's going to be. Like I said, I think you said it in your breakdown. If you could pick a fight of the night, you got to go Burgos and Quarantino. That's going to be insane.
Okay, ownership. We just did Burgos. What is Justin Gaethje's projected ownership?
29.2.
That's like, I guess that's high because the highest we've had is 40 something. So that's high, but that's lower than I thought it would be.
I think that's more of a coin flip. Because like I said, I think his chin's going to go soon.
I'm surprised it's that low because everybody who's on Justin's side thinks he's going to knock out Michael Chandler. And honestly, Michael Chandler's chin is suspect, so he probably can knock him out. But yeah, I'm surprised, especially because look at what he scores in his wins, because they're all TKOs and KOs. So 20 some odd percent. All right, solid ownership for Justin Gaethje, but not as high as I thought it would be. Yeah, and David, you can't find this anywhere because Joey here literally has to pay for it, and then he shares.
Thank God I don't pay for it.
So, well, it's not free.
It's not free.
He's just sharing it for free, but it's not free.
I'm actually trying to work on my own system so I can try to get projection ownerships, and then we can go from there.
With Burgos Gaethje, what is Chito Vera's projected ownership against fellow Jersey Guido, Frankie Edgar?
Okay, I'll say this. Marlon overrated Vera. His ownership, this is almost like a pick 'em too because they don't know what to do with the fight. Vera is currently at 16.1.
Really?
I guess the public doesn't think that. Honestly, if you look at the screen, take off that O'Malley fluke win. Yes, it was a defended kick. Take off that win. Who's he beat?
Yeah. Listen, I've been arguing with people all day. Somebody said they put $2,500 on Chito Vera. So
have fun. Have fun when he's out of the UFC in 2 years.
Yep, I agree. O'Day Osborne, Killer Be Killed. O'Day Osborne. What is his projected ownership for tonight's UFC?
26.7. And I'll say this right now. You got to. I don't care if you're doing GPPs, double ups, or a single entry type of tournament. You have to slam that first fight. I do not see that fight going long.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he's kind of cheap. So Uncertainty had a question. How do they gather the DK data for ownership? So basically, DraftKings, obviously they have many, many years of data, and they know their calculations and who can be in what lineups, this, that, the other thing. So they just compile all that information. They run algorithms, and outsiders will do projected ownership based off of all the data they have, historical results, projected results, and things like that. So, and the projected ownership is usually pretty accurate. And also some of it is from actual ownership, numbers as well. So, somebody just asked what, we haven't done Vergara yet. We'll get to Vergara. We're going in price order here. So O'Day is, 20.
O'Day is in my lineup.
What?
O'Day is in my lineup.
Yep. Yeah, he is cheap. Bobby Green. What is Bobby Green's ownership projection?
16.8.
16.
I guess the public thinks that it's going to be another decision for Bobby Green, which it probably could.
But look what he does in decisions.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, this one was low. But
I knew that was going to be low. That's all the matchup.
So, if he stands and bangs, he does well in decisions.
He is one of my favorite fighters. But like I said, he's you're always going to know I don't ever play him in DraftKings for the most part. Because I always know it's going to be a decision. Bobby
Green. What do we got with Imamov?
Ooh. Like I said, a lot of the public is leaning towards the underdog. We'll get there. But Imamov's currently at 14.6 if you want to get different in GPPs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's another low-owned, especially considering, I mean, he's got the grappling. I saw people in this live chat talking about how he's going to win, he's going to dominate, he's got the better striking. So I'm surprised that his ownership is so low. Camera is out. What about my buddy, Chris Barnett?
Chris Barnett is currently at 10.3, which I think it's insane. I'm sorry, I would never pick Vellante. No.
I agree, but I bet Vellante's at like 1% ownership. I think Chris is 10.3 because I don't even know how many points he'll score if he wins.
I don't know.
Let's see. What about Rose Namajunas? You need one of these women in your lineup. It's a 5-round fight. Especially she put up 100 points last time, but it is still a 5-round fight. She should do okay. What is the projected ownership with Rose?
Rose is currently at 28.
28, so a little on the higher side there compared to some of the other people. Oh, Jacob. Jake E. Lines, what's going on?
What's up, nerds and virgins?
I do love when he says that. That is funny.
What's up,
And then
what's going on, Joe?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
freaking day. I actually shared the text trail with the live stream so they could see the animosity behind the scenes. So when they do our like Dateline episode 10 years from now, like we want picks behind the scenes, this is the type of stuff that's going to come up.
That's right.
So Jacob, we're doing ownership stuff, so you just chime in real quick. Wei Li Zhang, Joey, you say the ownership, and then Jacob, you make us laugh. Go.
All right. The public is leaning towards Wei Li in this rematch. She's currently at 39.5% own in contests.
Wei Li is?
Yeah, they're going for the Wei Li to get her title back.
I don't know who Wei Li is, but Wei Li.
Whatever her name is. Whatever.
Jacob, have you ever heard the expression, well, there and then it goes out the water instead of out the window?
Never.
Nobody has.
Is that a Joe phrase?
It's a Joe phrase.
I guess it's a Joe phrase.
Oh my god. Where are you from,
Out
Joe?
the water.
I'm originally from Tennessee, but I live in Jersey.
You're the only 10 I see, I'll tell you that.
Hey.
I'll tell you that.
All right.
All right, so Angel's like, all right.
What are your thoughts on Wei Li's ownership at 30-something%, Jake?
I'll tell you what. I took Rose in my lineup. I think Rose is gonna win, but then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, Jesus, man, she could get wrestled, she could get knocked out, she could get finished, and then if she wins, I don't think she's gonna finish Wei Li, right? I mean, that seemed like not a fluke, but I just don't know how many points she's actually gonna score. I guess 5 rounds. She's not really high volume. So I was like, I think Rose is going to win, but I honestly, I took her out of my lineup. I just completely redid my lineup earlier this morning, and it was I took Rose out. So I can see why people would want to play Wei Li for sure.
It's and real quick, Dave Milk's on the other side. Sorry, I was covering your face, Jake. Wow, that's surprising. I would have thought Rose would be more popular because her ownership was 20-something%. So I agree. I expected
what was Rose's? Rose was 20%?
Yeah, Rose was 28.
Yeah, it's probably going to keep dropping, I imagine.
I'm just surprised because I feel like the whole world is on Rose. I thought I was the outlier on Wei Li until other people said it was a popular pick, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. What we got next? We go from
the
Wei
joke of the
Li.
card.
What is John Volante's ownership? I'm guessing 5%.
Not even close.
What is it, like 20?
19.7.
That's so high, man.
Whoever's going to play Volante, have fun with him being out of your lineup early. Enjoy the rest of your fights. Watch the rest of the card. Don't even do it.
The problem is
those are the nerds and virgins. Those are the nerds and virgins.
That's who Joey's talking about.
That 20%. We've just found him.
The problem is John Volante, like Chris Barnett, I think he wins. You know, I have him winning, but I don't think he's going to – I don't know if he'll knock out John Volante, maybe. But John Volante is like kind of tough, like lost, decision, lost, knockout, lost.
Yeah, I was gonna say you skipped over that.
But he's like he's kind of tough. I just don't know. Like he's not cheap. I don't know why you're spending $7,900. That's crazy.
I'm not. Maybe the battle of the beer guts, maybe, but I'm not putting no money on that.
John Allen, what is his $7,800?
Did you see? Speaking of that fight, did you see the Chris Barnett thing with Halle Berry?
No.
Yeah,
it was kind of funny, because Halle Berry was there at the ceremonial weigh-ins, and he was trying to talk to Halle like as he was leaving, and I guess that his dad grew up on the same street that Halle Berry did, like in Cleveland. So as he's like walking up the stage in like this big moment, he's like trying to tell her this story, and she's like, you can tell she's just like, okay, like what is this guy talking to me for? It's kind of funny, but.
That is funny. So he wasn't shooting his shot. He was just telling her.
No, it was like an actual story. Like I'm sure if she would have heard it, she would have been like, "Oh my god, that's crazy." But it's like in that moment, it's hard to tell like that type of story, you know?
Yeah. People are making fun of the Pacers in the comments, Jacob. I don't know why. This is an MMA betting channel. Okay, what do we got on John Allen taking short notice? Oh, Danny Kramer's here too. Holy shkavoo.
Wow. Whoa, look who it is.
Look how small we are.
Speaking of nerds and
what's going on? Angelo, you keep me waiting in the lobby like that again. We're removing you as whatever your moderator or
He
whatever.
made you wait, Dan? Unbelievable.
We're so
at least
small.
3
I don't know how to
minutes.
make us bigger.
He pulled me right in.
Can you believe that? What's going on, boys?
What's up, brother?
What's up, Joey?
Yes, sir.
Joey Parlay?
Yes, sir. Joey Parlay.
Joey T, Michael Chandler, COVID.
We're so small like this.
Oh, don't start with that, Jacob. I had somebody in one of the Discords I helped run, and he's like, yo, I think Michael Chandler got COVID. I'm like, don't you say that.
Yeah, Joey started that rumor.
You started that? Yeah, I saw Jacob text.
Yeah, Angelo sent it to me. I clicked on the article and I started reading it. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, oh my God, this is the most satire thing I've ever seen.
All right, so what I missed? What's going on? I'm doing a little research here.
Well, here, Dan, pay attention because Joe is doing projected ownerships, which is what you asked me for. The next fight.
I got projected. Oh, yeah. I think I got him too. What do you use, Joe, to get him?
My buddy actually does like the whole website. There's like he runs on. There's that. There's Fantasy Cruncher. People go on. There's all kinds of different sites you can go pay for.
Dan,
yeah,
Dave
I got a couple of those. I'm actually putting a spreadsheet together now with my own little formula. Yeah, I got the Hard Rack app about 5 minutes ago, actually.
Okay, so back to the projected DraftKings ownership. Did you give us an answer for John Allen?
Oh, John Allen's the lowest on the card at 4.9.
Holy crap. More people have confidence in John Vellante than John Allen.
Hell no.
Edmund Shabazian, what's his ownership?
Edmund Shabazian, like I said, he was the higher over-owned ranked guy in their type matchup. He's currently at 22.9.
That seems low.
I think it might be one of the higher ones.
22.9 is a pretty. I mean, anything above 20 is fairly
a bit higher.
Above average, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Jesus. Jumped down my throat.
No, dude,
I
just
get
started
it,
learning
man.
this
My
stuff
God.
too.
Jesus Christ.
I'm looking at it right now. There's like
entire energy.
14 fighters that are below 20% and 14 that are above.
I get it. My God, Jesus.
All right, well, I mean,
Guys,
I know
hold on.
we
Something important is
learned
happening
math from you early on in this podcast, and it was painful. Oh, look at that,
What does this
Angelo.
say? Angelo, your bets have been fire. I can't bring myself to bet on Chris Barnett. All right, well, you're lost, buddy. That's your
Oh, by the way, I meant to text you, Angelo. Have you Venmo'd me the last 4 times I've beaten you? Because I haven't seen the Venmos coming in.
I'm pretty sure I have, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I was refreshing on the last one for sure.
He's going to blame it on me being in Abu Dhabi or something. And it
I had
didn't
to
go
make my
forward.
Venmo private because
Yeah, he
Tiffany
paid you in whatever that currency is.
Tiffany
Right.
would keep saying things. I agree, Josh. Barnett should win a decision. I agree.
I think he's going to sub him.
I'll take whatever.
Last
I got the
Stevens
money.
Mangelo, October 17th. We're going to have to do a full audit on this after.
It's two. I owe you two. I owe you two.
I messaged you and Dan, but if you guys are on Bet Online and you like Usman and Rose, they have an odds booster right now that you can get Usman and Rose. It was plus 185. You can get them for 250 right now if you like both of those. They have an odds booster. Sometimes they throw up odds boosters for different sports and stuff. I've played some of these before and got some big money. So if you like Usman and Rose,
Plus 250 on a parlay for both of them.
plus 250.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good. Both the champs for 250.
I know that is. I'm gonna do it while we're talking because that is good.
I like
half.
Wiley in this fight though. I do, but I mean, take advantage of those odds is probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, I like Colby and I slightly like Rose, so I threw money at it, plus 250.
And what would it be without the odds booster?
It says plus 185.
How do you do odds boosters? Oh, here it is.
There's a thing on the left. It just says
Yeah, the
odds,
picture of the
odds
rocket ship.
You're right, yeah, and you'll see it in there.
I haven't done an odds booster. All right, the next projected ownership for Al Iaquinta.
13.1.
Yeah, I don't see him winning that fight.
Unless he
then
gets
we've
some
got-
New York love.
I know, but he hasn't fought in 2 years. He's a real estate agent now. See, what's CJ Vergara's projected ownership over O'Day?
17.7.
We got the same projections. Joey
Yep.
T. I like it.
Is there a way to see who the judge? Oh, Ray Sanders
I'm gonna
asked
try
who
and
the
look it
judges
up.
will be. That's
All right.
interesting. The
Maybe
judges
you
are
Google it,
public
maybe.
information. What is Frankie Edgar's projected ownership?
Edgar's currently at 15.4.
15.4.
That's an opportunity.
He's in my
Oh,
line. Yeah. He's in my lineup. What do we have for Michael Chandler?
Chandler is currently at 13%, which shocks the living hell out of me.
Wow.
Especially
Yeah,
if you think
especially he's live for a
possibly
knock.
chin check.
So I did like a makeshift formula with these projections. So I watched the video. There's a guy who won a bunch of money, and basically he lays out on a spreadsheet all of the different stats: first round, second round, inside the distance, and he's like basically the biggest correlations with winning the number one spot for this multi-entry is first round, then inside the distance, and then win percentage or whatever. But you can tie basically the percentage chance of them with those correlations against the ownership and figure out where you have an edge. And I kind of did my own little makeshift formula here, but at first glance, this is probably all going to be wrong, so tread lightly. The people with the biggest upside in terms of like finishes, high points, but low owned are Allen, Barnett, Jordan Williams, Michailidis, Vera. So all underdogs, obviously, but have that upside chance of a finish or getting a win. So kind of interesting, especially on Jordan Williams and Barnett too. I kind of like Barnett.
Yeah, I like Barnett.
He's not really a. He's not. Was he low owned? What was it?
He was 10.3.
Yeah. What's Billy Quarantillo?
He's actually one of the higher owned underdogs. He's at 31.1.
Yeah.
It makes sense. He's cheap, busy as hell. I mean, I'm looking at it. I can't share it on the screen because now there's four of us. It like makes us tiny. But in his wins, he scores pretty well. He's a busy guy. Gets some takedowns. We only have a few more. Andreas Michailidis.
At 7.
What?
7%.
Jeez.
They pretty much think he might get Francis Ngannou round one punch, go to sleep, and good chance.
That's surprising.
I don't know if Angelo, if you mentioned it earlier, but so Glover trains with Alex Pereira. So I saw him training up there. This dude hits hard. I mean, when I saw him hitting, I was like, man, this guy looks like he hits hard. Glover said he's the hardest hitting guy I've ever trained with. And then I went and rewatched some tape today on Michailidis. I think I said yesterday, like, oh man, he's underrated. He's got, this is a tough fight. I think Alex Pereira, as long as he can defend a couple takedowns and doesn't get caught with one of those big looping shots, because Michailidis does throw those big power heavy shots unorthodox. If he can avoid a big, a lucky punch, I think he's going to put Michailidis to sleep.
Badly.
Michailidis. Angelo, how do I say it wrong?
Michailidis.
The only thing crazy is someone mentioned O'Day. His last two fights, both his opponents have missed weight. That kind of sucks. Good for his payday, but
yeah, it does suck. But yeah, the only thing so we've seen these like accomplished high level kickboxers come to MMA and have a bad go at it because they get used to blocking with the big gloves. So not that that'll happen here, but Michailidis does have power, and if Alex is big glove blocking and that gets through, that could be a problem.
It's almost worse to have a guy like Michailidis fight. You're fighting in your first fight as a kickboxer because he penetrates and throws big bombs. But if you watch his last fight, he couldn't put to sleep KB Bullar. So
and KB Bullar actually had like a DQ loss apparently.
Yeah, they say he's talented. He just didn't do anything in the fight.
KB Bullar might have been the worst athlete and fighter in UFC history. CM Punk would have destroyed KB Bullar.
You need to tell CM Punk to stick to wrestling.
Somebody asked Dan about his gas tank. Obviously, we don't know, but I assume he has a solid. If he's over there grinding it out with Glover every day, I'm assuming his tank's pretty solid.
Yeah, I don't know. But the big factors there: first UFC fight, Madison Square Garden. MMA is a different sort of gas tank than kickboxing. Now he's obviously been training for it. He's got some MMA fights, but everybody reacts differently. I mean, this guy is tough as they come, so I think he's going to be good. But I'll tell you right now, my first UFC fight, I was in the best shape I've ever been, and I still felt like death after the first round just because of the adrenaline dump. So
it was also your pro debut, so it's
that's true. Yeah, he's fought big stages all over the world, but
and honestly,
I don't care who you are. Your first UFC fight at MSG, especially coming in as a highly touted prospect, there's going to be some people though use it the right way. Oh, by the way, check this out. It's kind of cool. That's the
there it is.
That's the beer.
Oh,
he
shit.
gave it to you?
Yeah, he gave it to me.
Why? Did you just steal that from the hotel room?
Yeah, don't tell him. No,
I'm an Iron boy.
We drank it. He drank a lot of it. I had a couple sips. So that was cool. Yeah, it was really good.
That's funny.
Glover's going to send him back America's Finest. I think a Bush Light.
Glover should send him back
Milwaukee's
Mad
best.
Dog.
Glover should send him back a replica belt. That'd be fun.
I can't believe Glover let you have that bottle. He's not really sentimental. He doesn't even have his own posters at the gym.
I was telling him too. I was like, man, the one thing I would say I regret at this point. You know me, Angelo. I was the worst. I never kept anything. I would get.
I have a pair of your shorts in my closet right now.
Yeah. I would get like shorts signed by everybody on the Ultimate Fighter, and I would train with it for like years and years and years.
Oh, he's gonna go get them.
Imagine he comes back with just like a random pair of like my like Nike running shorts. That'd be kind of weird. What else do I have? Oh, G Lover the man. I'm gonna make something between like the. Where's my camera? I got the wraps from the fight.
Oh, snap.
Put together some. I got one of the posters. I'm gonna put together some sort of cool thing for the office with. I don't know. Somebody more creative than me with the beer bottle, the wraps, and the.
You have his wraps too.
Yeah.
I kept all your wraps and everybody else's. They go moldy.
Really?
Yeah. So I have these, which are yours.
Oh, snap.
Hold on, let me
Oh,
fix
nice. Xavier, I remember that. They gave me a watch.
Yeah.
Private jets. They definitely gave me nothing to do with private jets.
Look what I have.
And then,
Corey Sandhagen.
Look at this, guys.
Oh,
and then I have this. So Dan is like not a thoughtful person, but one day you did do this for me, which was really nice. You were in Florida. I was in Connecticut. You got these American Top Team shorts. You walked it around the gym, and you had everybody sign it for me.
I can't believe I did that for you.
I can't believe you did it either. Because I've got Masvidal. I might have signed it on the airplane, but I got Masvidal on here, and this is old school because it's got George Santiago. All the guys.
I believe he did it. The guy put a gun to Amanda Ribas's head and made her say my name. So
that's funny. I forgot. That is old school too, Angelo. Who else is on there? Probably Marcus Aurelio.
I've got Conan, obviously, but he's still there. Pitbull, Danilo Villafort.
Wow.
I don't know. George Santiago, Mike Brown.
The funny thing is now is half those guys are at Sanford,
Yeah.
and half of them are still at ATT.
I don't know who. Jessica Aguilar, Jorge Masvidal, Game Brand,
Yeah. Wow.
Micah Miller,
Look at that.
Max something.
what a guy, man. Dan's the best.
I
I swear to God, Dan's
the absolute worst.
He is the best, man.
You should have never reminded me I gave that to you, Angelo.
I know. Now you're like, that's my contribution to the channel.
I'm
10
good
years
for a
ago.
month now. I don't hear any complaining.
Hey, Dan also sent me a package, which I absolutely love, and I got to represent, though.
There you go.
Yes,
I
sir.
love it.
I'm going to have to send you some money so I can try to find me an American Top Team hat. I can't find that shit anywhere.
No,
They have a
don't
store.
send me money, dude. I'll get you a hat.
Word. Remember, I got a big head, too.
Bigger than Angelo's? It's impossible.
Mine's tiny. I have a very small head. Shocking.
Yeah, I bet it looks like it.
All right,
It looks so
finish
small.
out the ownership really
All right.
quick. The last, we only have like three more. Bruno Souza, Kobe, Curtis, and Williams.
All right, I'm going to spitfire all of them. Sosa, 8.5. Covington 30.9. Chris Curtis is at 9.5, and then Jordan Williams is at 6.6.
Chris Curtis is interesting because I feel like Phil Hawes might try to box with him, and that's going to be a mistake. Yeah, I feel like he's going to try and box with him. That's going to be a mistake.
I actually agree with what you said, Jacob. Like, if you think maybe Chris Curtis can get a late finish, I saw it in third round props.
Well, we'll see.
We have a question. I think, David, I think you asked it before too, and I didn't answer. Who do you? I'll ask you, Dan, since you're probably putting in the most DraftKings work right now. What fighter do you think scores the most amount of points on draft, regardless of price? Who do you think is the highest scoring DraftKings?
I think you got to go with if you think Usman's going to win that fight, I think you got to go with Usman because it could happen a couple different ways. 5-round battle that he wins, or a stoppage in later rounds. So you got to go with a 5-round fighter. I think Usman's the favorite. His striking's getting a lot better every fight. I'm kind of hoping Colby wins, to be honest. He set up a great trilogy, and whether you like him or dislike him, he's entertaining and he keeps people interested. So, but yeah, I would say Usman's probably going to have the highest score. Would be my guess.
I kind of feel like that's why Usman's starting to come around as far as like giving Colby props as a fighter, because Colby has sold this whole fight for Usman. Usman doesn't have to do anything, right? He's making all this money for Usman, so Usman's like, hell, screw it, man. If he wants to be that guy, then be that guy, you know?
Who else is Usman going to fight to make more money, right? He had the Masvidal fight. That was a big money fight. Who's the second biggest fight there is? I don't think there is.
I think that's why Usman is already talking about like a trilogy. Like, hey, maybe even if I win again, maybe we fight a third time. Like, hell, cash in. Screw it.
Well, and they're also trying to cash in.
Think about this. Luque, Chiesa, Chimaev. They try to push him up too early.
Right, it'd be Chimaev or whatever. So
yeah, there's 3 guys left maybe. But
Chimaev would be a bit.
But Casey's also got to get Casey's also got to get past Sean Brady.
Right.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz would be a big one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't just give Nate Diaz
I know. I'm just saying, in terms of money fights, like what most realistic, like the biggest money payday is probably the Colby Covington fight.
That, or if you try to get a rematch with Leon Edwards.
Just pay George St. Pierre what he wants and do that.
Everyone hates Leon Edwards. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
He's a good guy. He's a great fighter. Everyone hates Leon Edwards. You know what's funny is Vicente Luque was the backup for this fight, and he missed weight by 2 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Who missed weight?
Vicente Luque. He was the backup for Colby and Usman, and he missed weight by 2 pounds. He was just like, sorry guys.
But I don't think Luque was always the backup. I think it was a last-minute thing.
It was like a week thing, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where I think Prohashka.
So Glover told me a funny story before the fight. So he was the backup for what was the title fight?
Adesanya and
Yeah. So he was the backup, so he had to make weight. And same thing, like he did a training camp. He was ready to go. But like the weight cut part of it, later on in the week, you start realizing, all right, the guys are good. And what can I share? Hey, what doesn't matter? He said that the day of the weigh-ins, he's like, I had some espresso, and he somehow screwed his stomach up so bad that literally he was like dry heaving and couldn't, like almost couldn't make weight. And it was like one of the worst weight cuts he's ever had, even though he was in shape. And he's like, but I forced myself to make the weight because he's like, I knew if I missed weight
then somebody would drop. Yeah.
No, not even that. Just even as the backup, if he missed weight, they'd be like, dude, you missed weight as a backup. Like, how do we know you're going to make weight for the title fight? So he like forced himself through one of the worst weight cuts ever to make that weight as the backup. And then, I think they paid him pretty well or whatever, but kind of crazy. So Luque missed it. I guess it doesn't matter if it's not.
So I wonder if he did that because I assume they were going to pay him if he made it. I wonder if they're still going to give him something just for trying. I don't know.
Probably not.
So he went to New York and tried to cut weight, and then he didn't get anything for it. I mean, that sucks.
We remember Carmelo. I got Carmelo, Dan. I got Carmelo paid to be the backup to make weight for Bellator once. I think he flew out to New Orleans. It's honestly decent money. And it's like, just make some weight.
Wait. He wasn't a heavyweight at the time, right? He cut to 205 for money.
I don't remember. No, I think it was heavyweight because I don't think he fought at 205 in Bellator.
Guy must have had a rough cut to 265.
Well, I don't think it was because it was heavyweight. It's just sort of like, all right, I'll be there, ready.
Right. Yeah.
But
They usually pay you, I think, a decent amount, but I doubt they'll pay him if he missed weight.
Dan, I got a question for you. You're here. You were with Glover. And obviously, I think the whole world was really happy Glover won. I don't know if the UFC is, though. Did you get any, did they seem genuinely happy for him? Or they're like, holy shit, our champ is 42. Now what?
Everybody that I talked to, I didn't talk to Dana or anybody, but everyone at the UFC, the people that work there, by the way, they were awesome. Claire in the UFC, she took care of so much stuff for me last night because Angelo, remind you, I got my passport last minute. Thank you very much. Yeah. Anyway, so she helped me with all the COVID protocol, got tickets, all of that. But everybody I talked to, her and people were very happy for him. So I don't know that they're going to be in any matchmaking duties, but the people that I spoke with were thrilled.
Yeah, well, he's fighting.
Did you guys feel like that was way bigger than you thought? I was close to it, so I was so happy. But I felt like social media and so many people that you would never think even were going to watch the fight or care about it were genuinely happy about.
No, that was the perfect. I mean, they're going to make a movie about it probably someday. I mean, that was the perfect movie finish of just boom, he did it. Everyone's like, he did it. It's incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The Rock was tweeting about it. Conor McGregor. It was damn, man, it's awesome.
I think everybody loved it because A, he's never said a bad thing about anybody. Dude couldn't be nicer. And B, he is old. And C, it was a pretty clean cut. He went out there and put it on him. It was oh my God.
It's funny. He said, I'm going to put him down with either my left hand or my takedowns. And he nearly did both. He almost put him down with the left hand. Obviously, he got the takedowns, but he called it, man. Called the shot.
Yeah, man, that was great. I literally lost my voice watching. By the way, I think he's going to win his next fight too. I know we're getting ahead. I probably came on and threw your whole rhythm off, Angelo, but I think he beats
Yuri Prochazka.
Yeah, I think that's a good matchup for him.
Yuri, after his last fight, we're this dude. There's no way his chin. He's so hittable. It's ridiculous.
Dude, styles like that. He's on a run. He's impressive. He takes shots. He's athletic and throws crazy shots. But man, if he fights like that, he will be on his back in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't fight like that, who knows what he'll. I'm sure he's very good and talented. But is there a line out on that? Yeah, I'm gonna bet on that right now.
I doubt it.
Futures. I bet.
But no one betters. They might just try to give Yuri the favor card, and they have Glover even as an underdog as a champion.
Glover's definitely gonna be the underdog, I think.
What's funny is they have Yuri and Jan, but they don't have. That's weird.
They announced it already. They didn't give a date. We should go, Dan.
That is funny. They really have.
They went to Abu Dhabi, right?
Yuri and Jan.
Worse. Harder to get to than there. I'm definitely going to wherever the next one is.
Hey, they
shouldn't be saying that because they're going to make it China or something.
Why do they have that? Why do they have Yuri and Jan? And Yuri's a minus 120 over Jan.
Well, they said Jan Blachowicz was the underdog in 9 of his last 10 fights, except Glover.
Mm-hmm.
They have Usman
and Jan in probably 9 of his last 10 fights, except for he was the underdog.
They have odds. This is kind of interesting. They have odds for Nunes and Kayla Harrison. Who do you think's the favorite on that?
No comment.
Do they have Kayla because she's a nasty boxer?
Nunes minus 290.
Who's minus 290?
Nunez.
Nunes is minus 290 if they ever fight. And they have Harrison and Cyborg too. And Cyborg's a minus 200 versus Kayla.
Kayla's the nasty boxer, right? That transitioned?
No, Kayla is the wrestler that just mauls everyone.
Kayla Harrison, the short little blonde chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boxer is
the one that just lost to the
she just
lost her fight.
Yeah. The world champion boxer. I know who you're talking about. But...
The one that the Paul brother was talking about.
Right. But no,
I'm looking
Kayla
for
Harrison
odds
is
right
the
now.
American top team wrestler that just mauls everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking
We
for
have,
these odds. They're not there, I don't think. If anybody out there can find odds on Glover and no, yeah, you're right. They have Jan and Yuri. It's weird.
Well, we've got 15 minutes left, so we'll cover whatever everybody's want to cover.
Big Bob Boston asks who Khamzat's going to fight next. I think they're saying Nate Diaz, right?
I heard Diaz.
No, but Nate
But-
Diaz like laughed at that. He was like, "Are you
I know
kidding me?" No.
Neil Magny keeps calling him out.
Yeah, he should fight Neal in December, honestly.
Especially he's calling him out. Nobody wants to fight him, and now all of a sudden,
Even Neil on
UFC
Facebook's calling him out.
Tough fight because it's his last fight in his contract and he's not renewing ahead of time.
who?
Nate.
Diaz.
Oh. Yeah, but he just won't sign anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He just,
The
he'll
UFC,
just
the last thing they
fight.
want to have happen is him win on the last fight because then you get then you got leverage.
Yeah, I mean, I just he'll just do just like his brother. He literally just won't fight for a few years. Jacob, you coming over tonight to watch the fights, or are you getting sketchy on me?
I'll probably be there.
Hey, look at that, huh?
Feeling good.
We
Feeling
should-
great.
If you let them know when you're ready, you tell them if you're going to come. You show up if you feel like it.
I'm making Dan. I don't. You
You better
probably
make
didn't
those. You
see it.
said you're making wings. I saw that chili. I don't want any of that shit.
I'm making chili and wing. Dan, I
Ooh.
won the chili cook-off in the neighborhood. So last weekend, 2 Connecticut people left their state and won a championship elsewhere. Glover did whatever patty cake he did. I went into Texas, into the heart of Chili Town, and beat them. Mbe, thank you for becoming a member.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you, Mbe. She's just so happy to hear about the chili.
Can't go wrong with chili.
Oh, great. Here
Chili
we
is
go.
disgusting.
Hello?
Glow. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh.
That's
Now,
probably Betty
Glover's
Crocker
texting
asking him
now
for
from New
the.
York. Man, there were these cool guys that we met in Abu Dhabi. They were awesome. I left my seat in the stands and I was like, guys, I know we just met. Take all my stuff. I had like gear and bags. I was like, just if you can, meet me back at the hotel. If not, keep it. But meet me back at the hotel afterwards. I'm going backstage. And these dudes came back to the hotel, had all my stuff, and we hung out with them all night. And they're in New York now for the fights. And Glover said, he's like, man, I'll take care of you guys in New York or whatever. And they're literally, he's sending me pictures with them right now. It's pretty cool.
Who are they?
That moment with Glover and you in the walkway was awesome. It was so funny because I was getting ready to leave Angelo's, and then I saw Glover walking, and I was like, "Oh, I bet he's gonna say hi to Dan." So I started filming, and then sure as shit, you see you just like Glover. And he's like, "Hey." Was anyone like, "How do you know him?" or anything like that? Or everyone knew
Dude,
you know him?
I was sitting amongst, I don't know, probably 100 different Russian and Polish people, all rooting for Jan. And literally, I think in like midway through the first round, they were all ready to jump me. And then they could tell I was so emotionally invested that by like the second round, they were like, people were just filming me instead because I was just going nuts. But no, everybody was pretty cool for the most part. But in the beginning, I was like, man, this might not go well with
Get him
everyone.
the Russian mob.
So my wife just called me to complain that I didn't respond to her text because she's at the store. How did Sam deal with you being on the other side of the planet for a week? Was she like, okay?
It was my birthday, so I just rode that excuse the entire time. Like, it's my birthday, you know. Now, she was cool. I mean, when they announced the fight, I said, I got to be there. She's like, yeah, you're right. You got to be there. As the fight got closer, the tone changed a little bit. But,
yeah, of course. It's easy.
but no, she was good about it. She was happy. She had the kids watching it. You know, my son was like dancing around, celebrating for him. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. The funniest thing that came two things. One, when we did that interview with Glover, before like I edited all out, him messing with the camera, trying to figure out how to make it work. I think I'm gonna edit that piece out and send it to him and say I'm posting this. This is the UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. Just so confused with how his phone works. But then my favorite thing he said was like, and because you mentioned your kids and that's what triggered it. And he was like, people keep saying, you come here, come there. And he's like, I told you, if you want me to go to your kid's birthday party, that means you want me to lose my fight. And it's just like, Jesus. Like,
Right. I was like, there could have been some better examples of that, but It's so funny. I told him, geez, this is probably 15, 20 years ago. I said, hey, when you become champ, I'm going to post all these pictures. And I'm going to just spoil my own little, my fun right now, but whoever's watching will know. Everyone else won't. When we were out in the pit in California in like 2006, when he was training with Chuck, I went out there and stayed with him for a while and trained. This is when I kind of knew nothing. But John Hackelman's got a house where literally they have a cage outside, long drive. It's awesome. It's like old school training. It's badass. So we went out there and trained there. We took a bunch of pictures. He obviously could kick the crap out of me at that point. But we took pictures where like I had him in mount, ground and pounding, all fake. But I'm like, when you become champ, I'm going to post all these pictures.
It's just you beating on Glover. That's great.
Look at him. Guy's got a full head of hair back then, too. I don't know what happened. But
that's funny.
I might keep it for a little while. Until while he has the belt, I'm going to keep all these videos and pictures. And then when he retires, I'm going to release them all.
Yeah.
We need to get that grappling match going while he's a champ, too. He can bring the belt. Maybe you guys can fight for the belt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We'll do it. We'll do it.
I'm ready, man.
He said you guys we can do it whenever, Angelo. So you tell me.
Next time I go to Connecticut, which is probably so soon, I'm ready.
You're ready? Inspect.
my
What's the
kids
guy's
are
name? I always want to call you, and I can't think of the guy's name. Inspector Gadget, the guy who just sits at the chair and never moves with the cat there on the side.
Sometimes we film from upstairs, Dan. I move.
There's no. How do you have an elevator in your house?
He doesn't. When he says he moves, he rolls. He just kind of rolls.
The chair thing that goes up the stairs like this.
He starts today for Tuesday.
As soon as we hang up, I'm going to start my movements towards upstairs for the 9 o'clock pay-per-view.
Got to call the fire department.
Snack breaks along the way.
The fire department helps.
Hey, I missed it earlier. Did you guys talk about Ian Gary and what you think, like his price and if he's worth it or not?
I put him in my lineup. I did. I think he comes out and shines. I think this is his moment.
Really?
I changed my mind. I was iffy on him. I changed my mind.
So
I think this would be his moment.
But I'm saying this newcomer in the UFC, debut in Madison Square Garden, one of the biggest stages, 9.5. I think he has an easy opponent, but maybe he'll get a little – I wouldn't say he gets gun shy because even though Jordan Williams is a little bit tough, but he did get manhandled, absolutely manhandled by Mickey Gall, but I think we all called that one. But
yeah, that was But so it's funny because I watched a couple tapes right before I jumped on here, and Gary looks good. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't blown away by anything. And then Jordan Williams.
He's very good everywhere, but not like super good anywhere, if that makes sense. He's very good everywhere.
Right, and he could be super good. He might just be – I think we talked about it in one of the other shows. There's some people who just never look special, but they keep winning, right? So he might be one of those guys, but I don't know. For all the hype and, his price tag and all that, I'm like,
honestly what might help him is Angelo's reaction is James Gallagher losing last night might honestly help him kind of refocus because that's another one of those big Irish guys that Bellator had a big moment. I think that card was in Dublin and stuff, so I'm sure he was watching. That might have been able to like kind of refocus him before the night. Say, listen, I can't go crazy. I got to really focus, otherwise I could really blow this moment. So that actually might help him kind of refocus for tonight. And his girlfriend, I'm sure, is going to help him refocus. I'm sure they've been, going at it all week. You missed the breakdown, Dan. You got to look at his girlfriend. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I don't know. I was looking to Jordan Williams. Dude, Jordan Williams knocked out, what's his name? Gregory.
the guy that looks like RoboCop.
RoboCop, who's like, man, his last fight was insane. So, I don't know. I got to dig into it a little bit more, but obviously, there's a reason Gary's the favorite, but I like that plus 600 sub bet, by the way. Osiris.
Oh, man, that's better than what I was trying to say. I was like, Osiris.
I said it right.
No, it's Osiris and the Black Cat.
Yeah.
That makes much more sense. Better. I was like, Osiris.
Right, Mbaye is right. Williams did do all right against.
Williams is tough, man. He's tough as shit, and he beat the
That's
crap
why
out
I
of the guy
played
who
the
tried to steal
over,
his car.
man. That's why I went to over.
I'm thinking for like multiplayer entry, or multi-entry. Like I don't know how you're going to get your money's worth out of Gary unless he goes out there and
Gets a first round finish.
Right, exactly. Yeah, which he might
It has
do,
some decent volume.
but at $9,500, that limits the rest of everybody else. All the other guys you can get. So there's
Unless you
other
do
guys
like
with
3 or 4 underdogs, but even with that, there's still good value in the 8K.
Listen, don't try and talk me out of my pick, guys.
I'm not.
You're doing it, but you're doing it for a cash league, right? Our league, obviously, but
Right.
If it's a cash game, I think he's safe in a cash game, but then you just got to hope that some of your other dogs pretty much cash in with it.
Oh, all my dogs always perform.
Somebody asked if Chandler can sub Gaethje.
Yeah.
Maybe rear naked choke. I think Chandler's live for a knockout in the first 2 minutes because that dude, the first 2 minutes of any fight, he's like
Dude, he
what
almost
he
put
did
out
to Dan
Alex
Hooker.
Oliveira.
There's nobody more. There's nobody more explosive. Even when Oliveira had him on his back, didn't he just explode and just reverse the position? I mean, there's nobody more explosive than Michael Chandler. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, I like him for multi-entry too.
Yeah,
No,
it should be an interesting
racist.
night. Lots of live dogs, but also I could see every favorite winning. Somebody mentioned that earlier, that this week could be like last week where it's all favorites except 1 or 2. That could be, but we'll see.
All right, before I enter my 150
I'm
different
dropping
lines, by the
3
way,
minutes, Danny, so hurry up.
oh, gee, is a hard stop at 3 minutes? What
Wow.
happens? You going out of your payment? You have to pay for the hour on this or what?
And I'm out of quarters.
You're touche. Biggest underdog with the upside of a knockout, in everyone's opinion. Who does everybody like?
Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler.
Say other. Okay, let's all pick somebody different. I said Chandler. I'm looking for a few different people that I want to play higher than.
Okay.
Imagine.
So if you want to go a pure underdog,
Somebody low owned with a good chance of scoring a first round knockout.
Are you going to share the winnings since everybody's just building your lineup for you at this point?
Wow, I thought this was a community channel.
Go with CJ.
I guess not, Angelo. Let's
yeah, the CJ over O'Day.
Go with CJ. He's got power.
He closed the distance.
And O'Day's Jenny, man.
I like O'Day a lot, actually, but yeah, I haven't looked into CJ that much.
O'Day's even though he's got first round knockouts, he's kind of a slow starter. He was kind of starting slow against Cape a little bit, and then he started warming up, and then he got caught at the very end of the round. But
I'm gonna watch some tape on CJ after this. Yeah, it looks like he's 17% owned. O'Day is like 27.
Are you looking for an early finish or just a finish in general?
He wants.
Points. Early finish is always best, but first round finish is what you need to win the
the big GPPs.
Yep. All right, so we got CJ. Who else? Jake, who you like?
I'd probably go Shabazian.
I like that one too. I like Shabazian in that fight. Okay.
I don't. He's not low owned, but he's a dog. But I still don't trust Burgo's chin after coming back early. That was scary.
I would play Chris Curtis too, because if Phil Hawes tries a box, Chris Curtis is a much better boxer than Phil Hawes. And if Phil Hawes tries a box, Chris Curtis has power. I keep saying it, but
even though he's a 170er, he does have good power.
Yeah,
Hawes is going to wrestle probably in that fight, though, right?
But I don't know, man, because he likes to strike too. He's kind of one of those wrestlers that will. I mean, obviously, he does wrestle, but he kind of once you start knocking people out, man, people love knocking people out. So
yeah, Chris Curtis is only 9.5% owned, one of the lowest.
And that's definitely a flyer for sure, because Phil should dominate.
Those are what you need. That's how you get that's how you get that number one spot for whatever it is, a couple $100,000.
I think my sleeper might be Edgar, especially if he gets takedowns, ground control, maybe some ground and pound. I think he could be a sleeper, control time and get a lead finish.
Right. Yeah, Edgar's pretty low owned too. All right. Cool, boys. I'll throw you guys each $10 if I win a couple $100,000. Angelo, I'll throw you $5 because I gave you that.
Keep it. I owe you 90, so we're good. We'll call it.
Keep the money. I'll take a hat.
I got you.
I'm already paid up. I got Amanda and Shimiev, so we're good, Dan. We're good forever.
All right,
Oh,
well,
the shimmy video, yeah.
we have 68 live viewers, which is a ton. Thank you all very much. I do have to shut this down, though, because I got kids and a wife, and we got to get the day going before the fights kick off
Cook
in a
those
few hours.
goddamn wings.
I'm making Jacob wings for later. Not spicy, Dan. Jacob made sure. Angelo, not spicy.
Come on, spicy the better.
That's who you're dealing with here.
Naked.
That's where
That is totally something Jacob would say, right?
like
He probably gets like medium at like at like a chain restaurant, and his eyes start watering.
he was a
Can I
brunette.
have another Shirley Temple? These are too spicy.
I'm only putting up with this, Dan, because you got me those videos. If you didn't give me those videos, Dan, this would be a different conversation. I'd be on
Your
the
life is
flight.
officially made off those videos.
We've
I'd be
now
on the flight in an
flexed
hour.
up to 72. I hate shutting this down, but we got to shut it down.
Wow, it's 75 now. It keeps climbing.
Damn.
I know, and
Wow.
we're leaving. Well,
Oh my God, Angelo! Just as we're building,
I know.
you didn't even tell me what time it started.
Well, here you go. You guys could keep this going. I'll take my video off. You guys keep it going, Dan. How about that? You're such a generous
I got to
guy.
enter my lineup. The last time I max entered lineups, I ran out of time, and 30 of them were blank.
Yeah, exactly. So, either way, thank you all very much. If you're watching this and you don't subscribe, please subscribe soon.
David Mikes. Souza is a bum.
Soon we will do subscriber only live chat. For now, we're letting it fly as we grow, but thank you all for everything. Jacob and I will probably hop on live tonight, literally just so I can test it out, not a fight companion. I'm just going to click some buttons just to see what happens, but stick around. We'll talk about the fights, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you all very, very, very much.